out there. Let's move on now. A spell of heavy rains. And one of the most developed cities of India seems to be crumbling. These are visuals, in fact, that tell you the story of what's happening in Bengaluru. Heavy rains led to normal life being thrown out of gear. Take a look at how people have been suffering. There's bumper-to-bumper traffic. Here you've seen water entering people's house. And then the pothole issue that has always been there in Bengaluru, which is also, remember, claimed several lives, continues. And take a look at this. Roads that have turned into lakes, mini lakes, and you see a two-wheeler making its way through that. This is the condition of the most developed city. We're talking about Bengaluru. Just a couple of hours of rain, heavy rain, has thrown normal life out of gear, and the city seems to be crumbling. We're talking about Bengaluru here. After heavy downpour last night, large swathes of northern Bengaluru completely flooded. And in fact, the situation is so bad that not just roads, even people's homes have been flooded. And it's evident in the visuals that we are playing out for you. Flight operations have been impacted at the Kempegowda International Airport. Passengers traveling to and from the airport have faced difficulties due to massive traffic congestion and waterlogging. In many areas, residents were stranded without power and water supply. And people have been complaining about the situation to BBMP, the Bengaluru Civic Body Control Room. People are saying they're not responding to their calls. In the Bhadra layout area, the situation is bad. The roads are looking like mini lakes. Let's in fact go across to Deepak for more on this, who is joining us from the Bhadra layout area. Deepak, show us around. What's happening?
Well, I'm right now at the Tata Nagar circle. The situation is really bad. I cannot even fathom how bad it is for the people who are living in the interiors of this area. I'm just going to show you these pictures. On the other end of the road, of course, people are stuck, not able to come across. You can see an individual wading through water right now, almost up to his hip level. You can see some of the cars, they're submerged nearly half, and that's an indicator of how much water there is. And in the subarterial roads here, there is more water. I just saw a bunch of students who had to write an exam. They were wading through water which is up to their hip level. They're completely wet at this point in time, but don't have an option because their exam starts in just a few minutes from now, and they'll have to, of course, go write that exam because no holiday has been declared in colleges and schools. I have certain people here who are from this vicinity. Sir, if you could tell us, are you living nearby and how bad is the situation here?
I'm not living here.
Okay.
So I'm
but
living
around the area, is the traffic thrown out of gear? How bad is the situation?
Completely blocked this road. So I'm the second time from last year, 2 years.
Okay. And we've also been told that the Dodda Bommasandra Lake, of course, has also breached here after 17 years, which has led to a bad situation. I'm going to show you around as well. While this was, of course, a residential area, this is the main road. You can see waterlogging even now here, because of which this entire stretch, which is a very there is a lot of traffic movement here. It's a densely populated area in terms of traffic, and now that has been thrown out of gear. There's at least one or half a kilometer traffic. While I approach this road, you can see an ambulance right now struggling to make its way through. The reason, of course, is because of the water logging, because of which vehicles, of course, will have to move at a very slow pace, especially for the bikes. You can see the kind of trouble that they're going through, and the ambulance, of course, will have to slow down because of this. And this entire stretch, there is traffic. It's not just at one point in time. There are many bikes and other cars as well that have stopped and parked on the side of the road because they've broken down because the water levels are now receding, but it was much worse. As we speak, you can see the ambulance, how difficult it is for it to, of course, pass through. There are locals who are assisting, to help move the traffic. There are no traffic policemen at this point in time. You can see another vehicle trying to barge across and cut through. There are, of course, people here fearing that if their vehicle or the silencer gets into the water, there could be a lot of problems. As we look at this stretch of the road, it only is an indicator of how bad the things are getting. This is Tata Nagar Circle. There are areas around here as well, like Bhadra layout, like Balaji layout, and Sakar Nagar, Vidiranapura, that are completely affected. On the other side of the road, there are people who are waiting. Many of them, of course, at this point in time, who will need to go to the hospital, who will need to go to the schools, colleges, to work. You can just imagine the kind of problems. And especially for people who are living on the ground floor, their loss at this point in time cannot even be calculated.
Right.
Be it their furniture, be it their electric appliances, and everything inside the ground floor has been completely
Absolutely.
damaged. Many of them have left their homes last night, gone to
Right.
relatives' homes, or
People are suffering, and they're
taken
also
refuge.
complaining that the BBMP officials are not responding to their calls. Deepak, stay on with us. Citizens of Bengaluru are suffering civic apathy due to the crumbling infrastructure, which is a result of the heavy rains. Actor Anirudh, in fact, has posted a video of the pathetic condition of roads in Bengaluru's plush JP Nagar area. These roads are filled with potholes the size of craters. Watch how he is appealing to the civic body officials to address the issue of Bengalurians.
ನಾನೀಗ ಜೆ ಪಿ ನಗರ್ ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅದರ ಹತ್ರ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದು ಜರ್ಗನಹಳ್ಳಿ ವೃತ್ತ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಸಾರಕ್ಕಿ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸದನ್ ಕ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದು ಕನಕಪುರ ರಸ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಈ ರಸ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಇದು ಆ ಕಡೆನೂ ಹಾಗೇ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಕೆಲವು ದಿನಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕನಕಪುರ ರಸ್ತೆಗೆ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ನ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜಾಲತಾಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಕಳಿಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮಗದೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಾನು ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ರಸ್ತೆ ಹತ್ತ ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸಿ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಈ ರಸ್ತೆನ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸಿ.
Whether it's the pothole on the roads or whether it's the crumbling infrastructure, it seems to be becoming a regular affair in Bangalore, and that's what people are trying to highlight.